Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about the Intro to Networks course, Packet Tracer 10.4.3. A couple of things. You can click here to download your Packet Tracer file, and this gives you the instructions. So in case you had not yet figured that out, these instructions that come up in Packet Tracer, they're also available as a PDF right here. So I've opened that PDF. These are the same instructions as show up in Packet Tracer. You can print this out if you were like a printy kind of person, or you could like use PDF, something that lets you edit PDFs to edit it if you see fit. But basically, I got some questions about this Packet Tracer assignment because it's not real clear what needs to happen, and it doesn't grade correctly, which is kind of annoying. So anyway, it says complete the network documentation, perform basic configurations, verify, blah, blah, blah. So it says provide the missing information in the addressing table, which you look at the addressing table, it looks like darn near everything's missing. There's nothing in here but the interface names. And you might be like, what? I don't know how to do it. So basically we're configuring these guys for IPv4 and IPv6. So we need to come up with the addresses we're going to use or the addresses that are being used. And a couple things to look at. One, it tells us what subnets we should use in Packet Tracer here. So this is our IPv4 subnet and our IPv6 subnet for either side of the router. Also, the PCs are already configured for IPv4, so you can go collect this information from the PCs for the Packet Tracer file. I say already configured. They're already partially configured. You need to set the default gateway, obviously. Hopefully you know that. And then you'll need to configure it for IPv6. So you'll go collect the information from the PCs, put that in the table, and then you will need to come up with the IP addresses you should use for the router interfaces in that same subnet. And then you'll need to come up with the IPv6 addressing to use everywhere and apply that to the PCs and the router. It wants you to configure one of the switches. So you can configure this switch. You need to give the VLAN interface and IPv4 address. I do believe the instructions say only to use IPv4 on the switch. Yeah, it doesn't actually say that here. Oh, there we go. The VLAN interface will not be reachable over IPv6, so I'm not sure if it's going to let you configure it or not. You can try to configure it if you want. So anyway, those were the confusing issues about getting started on the activity. You have to figure out what addressing you need to use, and they don't really give you much. Basically, they give you the PC's IPv4 addresses. So that was a confusing part of that. The other part that's kind of annoying is that that's not the right one. Is that when you go to check your results, it says a lot of stuff's not right. I didn't double check this. I don't know if that's right or not, so I didn't double check that. But down here, I did double check all this IPv6 stuff, and it was correct in the file, and ping worked in the file. So I don't know what they're checking for, and I don't know why it's not correctly identifying it. If you look at this, it doesn't even have the right subnets. If you look at the subnets we're using in this file, we're using, that's not the right file. That's not the right file. Maybe I lost the file. Maybe the file went away. Yeah, anyway, I don't know what happened to the other file. I have a hard time believing this thing would stay up if oh, the file disappeared while I was looking at the thing. So anyway, weird. This says we're using 2001 DB8 ACAD, but when I checked the results of that for that file, which I think this was it, that's not the same subnet. This is DB8A. That doesn't match what they told us to use. So I think I might open a support ticket about this particular activity because I don't think it's very clear or very well designed or very well put together. So anyway, as long as when you finish, you've configured what you think you need and you can ping between all the PCs using both IPv4 and IPv6, as far as I am concerned, for the purposes of our class, that is all that needs to happen for success on this particular activity. And if anything changes with that, I will let you know.